Okay, excellent. Excellent. Good, good. Good stuff. Of course. Hello. I'm Amiable Aberration, and this is a demo of Redstone Gems. It's meant to be an introduction to a potential longer series, or just a longer form story. So if you enjoy this little demo, be sure to follow the creator for their future installments. They also have a webcomic. It does not star these two characters, but like if you enjoy their artwork or the way that they write, make sure to check that out. It's called Door of Despondence. I will attach a link in the video, so you can check that out. But anyways, enough of that. Let's get into this. Although I do just kind of want to sit here and listen to this salsa music for like a little longer. It's very nice. I just want to listen, but I need to get into this. I need to get into the story. I can't sit and listen to salsa music all day. The rain fell in an endless stream that late autumn night. Ooh, it's coming up on autumn now. Ooh, this is a perfect game to play. Haha. Even in the summer, Lima Lai, I get the Lima Lai's rain had an infamously steely bite. The kind that chilled your back and soaked your bones and lingered long afterwards. Something even the locals didn't get used to. Heaven knows I never did. Okay, so we're in a London-esque, probably Britain type place. Here it never stops raining there. Oh, here she is. She's even got an umbrella. She definitely need it. Glad I decided to bring my umbrella after all. I sighed and took out my pocket watch. It's nearly 1 in the morning. Oh, it would be fucking cold. Gross. I frowned. If he had gotten here when he was supposed to, I would have beaten the rain. How late is this man? It's 1 in the morning. I mean, I tend to be late myself, but wee. I looked down the hazy, wet streets and saw no signs of life. Damn. I snapped my watch closed. He still isn't here. Can you call that late at that point? It's 1 in the morning. Looks like, I mean, what was the appointed time? Ah, sheesh. Looks like I would be walking home alone tonight. Ugh. I took out my umbrella and stepped out into the icy rain. It was cold enough to see my breath. I was fairly used to walking at night, but one should never walk this part of town alone, especially if you were a woman. Of course, that never stopped me before. I'll smack him with my umbrella. I learned to take care of myself from an early age. No one else was going to watch out for me. Not until recently, anyway. Oh! I jumped as I suddenly heard a dog bark close by. I swore under my breath. Used to or not, I hated walking alone. Made me jump. I made my way further down the dark streets. My shoes smacked loudly on the worn, wet stones. I'm definitely feeling it. I am feeling this gross and wet and cold sloppiness. The only routes to my home run through the grittier parts of Lima Lai, but it looked like the rain was actually a blessing in disguise, because it seemed that even the worst criminals would rather be at home than causing trouble in this weather. I shivered as an unexpected wind sprayed rain up into my face. That idiot, I muttered bitterly as I pulled my coat closer to me. Where the hell is he? The idiot in question would be my boyfriend. I started dating him just a few months ago, and he promised he would walk me home tonight. Well, he's failing on that. Unfortunately, he seemed to be running late. True, he always tried his best to keep his promises, but he was careless and pretty terrible at paying attention to the time. Is he related to my family? Really bad at time. I picked up my pace as a chill tickled my back. Even with my umbrella, the dampness of the rain was creeping past the warmth of my coat. Up ahead, I saw two men lingering on a doorstep. It looked like they had been drinking. Oh, great. I grimaced and tried to walk by as quiet and casually as possible. But the men were not so drunk that they failed to notice me. As soon as I walked by, one of the drunks called out, "Hey there, pretty lady," one of them jeered. "How's about you come on out of the rain and warm up with us?" I ignored them and I kept walking. The second one spoke up with a bottle near his lips. "Hey, don't you know a monster lives in these parts?" I don't know why I'm giving him a not British accent, but whatever. It's my default drunkard voice. I stiffened up at the mere mention of it. "We're from not around here." The drunk continued, sensing my discomfort. "He's a real devil, I hear. Likes to crush his victims' faces so they can't be identified. As if there's even a body left. Sometimes all they find is a big red stain." He snickered. "Be a real shame if you got a whole pretty thing like you." Shook my head in disgust and kept walking. Suddenly the second one perked up with a realization. "Wait a minute, don't I know you?" No you don't. Nah. I knew better than to respond, but the rain was making me agitated and my temper shorter. "No, you don't know me. Sorry." Unfortunately, he wasn't fooled. "Oh, I think I do know you. You're Anastasia, that little tart that worked for Vinny, right?" Uh-oh. We have been identified. Oh no, now we're caught in conversation. My face contorted in revulsion at the mention of my former boss. The drunk cackled, delighted at my obvious reaction. "Oh yeah, it's definitely her. Friend told me you really know how to please a guy. You do business around here these days, honey? If so, I might have some spare change on me." I turned down a different street entirely just to end the conversation. It's like not even where I'm going. It's just, I'm done. But their laughter and perverted remarks echoed long afterwards. Far away from the drunks, I at last decided to slow my pace. Oh, it's not raining anymore. Ah, nice. The rain had finally eased, and all that was left of the heavy downpour was faint droplets falling from rooftops. The night air was no less biting, and I was relieved to finally be nearing home. I closed my umbrella, no longer needing it. Oh, ding. But as I did, a noise suddenly stops me dead. Is it the sound of footsteps I just heard? I also heard that nice little, I don't know, it sounded like a wind chime. It was pleasant. She was scared, but I was like, oh, that was pleasant. That's pleasant. I strain my ears, listening closely for the sound again. Was it those drunks? Did one of them follow me? All I heard was the faint dripping of raindrops. My heart began beating faster as dread creeps in. Hearing nothing wasn't a guarantee you were safe. Dude, it's way creepier if they stop. Not gonna lie. If they started walking and then they immediately stopped because they thought you were listening, would be way creepier if they continued to keep walking. It just meant whoever was stalking you was skilled and dangerous. Yep, exactly. If they did that. I began walking towards home again, forcing my base to be casual. All the while I kept my grip tight on my umbrella. You had to watch out, I'm armed. The only weapon I had, dude, you could kill someone with an umbrella. I have seen enough horror movies. You can kill someone with an umbrella. I walked another block, but I still had one last street to go before I reached home. God, a walk home had never felt so long. Almost there. Almost there. I tried to comfort myself, but unease only grew. I don't like the fact that I don't hear footsteps. That's actually freaking me out a little bit. I couldn't shake the distinct feeling that I was being watched. Oh! The sudden thud from behind me made my heart stop. I spun around in terror. An eerie wind played through my hair. I saw no one else. Oh, I was just about to say, oh, it's just a cat. I caught a glimpse of a cat as it took off to the other side of the street. I was clearly terrified of something. My heart was hammering in my chest. Dude, it's a cat. It's just a cat, clearly. There's a cat jumping on this little wooden railing thing over here. My heart was hammering in my chest. I need to get home. I need to get home. I need to get home today. I need to get home. I took a step forward, readying to sprint to my house. But before I could move, it's not the cat. I heard a deep, gravelly voice right in my ear. Oh, that's a fun descriptor. Gravelly. Voice of a monster. I like the heartbeat sound effect. How do I do a gravelly voice? I don't know. Hello, my dear. Lovely night for a stroll, is it not? It's like a knife being scraped against cold stone. It sent a shudder down my spine. The voice was chilling on an instinctual level, and in ancient times had struck terror in the hearts of saint and sinner alike. Woof. That is a descriptor. Whoa. Yet despite a primal instinct to flee in fear, I felt anger and annoyance well up in me. Tightened my grip on the umbrella and whipped around to strike the person behind me. Oof! My umbrella connected the side of his head with a satisfying thwack! Oh my god, she nailed him. Jonas, you ass! Oh, she knocked his hat off. He caught it. Oh, I like this little pan up. The man in front of me, or rather not a man, was known as Jonas. Looking at being all like, haha, I didn't do anything. I didn't scare the living daylights out of you. He had gone by many other names in the past. His outward appearance resembled a statue, bearing marble-like skin that normally cracked with his movements. His face was a smirking stone mask, only able to emote slightly with his eyes. Behind that grinning visage? How do you pronounce that word? Visage? Was something far more sinister. He was the dreaded monster of Lima Lai. Oh, that's a fun little title right there. Visage? Okay, so it is Visage. I've been dating him for the past 4 months. Oh, coming up on your 4-month anniversary. He's fucking late. How dare he? I like that little goofy smile. looking at her like I didn't do anything wrong, showing up God knows how late in the morning. He looked at his hat with concern, his marbled face completely undamaged by the umbrella. Oh, wow, yeah. Even though she knocked him on his ass. Careful now, love. You nearly knocked my hat into the next city over. Serves you right. What were you thinking, sneaking up on me like that? Jonas placed his hat back on his head, his movements smooth despite his stone body. Wink! Pardon me, my dear, but I couldn't help but notice that you were looking a tad bit gloomy. I truly hate seeing you that way, so I thought I would loosen you up by surprising you. I let out a frustrated sigh. Jonas, I wasn't gloomy. I thought I was being stalked. You had me think I was about to be murdered. He blinked. Oh, that's blinking. That's kind of turning the lights on and off. It was obvious he hadn't considered that. Oh, Well, yes, putting it that way, I suppose I might have slightly erred in my assessment of the situation then. I smacked him on the arm. But not as hard as I want to. Mainly because that would hurt me more than it would hurt him. Yeah, you would break your umbrella. I like how she does not use any fancy wording. Damn straight, you erd. You blockhead. Don't you ever do that to me again. He put his hands up in surrender. Terribly sorry, love. Mistake on my part, truly. Though I am compelled to ask. What are you doing out here so late? My door's waiting for you! Oh no. Shouldn't you have been in bed hours ago? This is certainly not the time to be walking around by yourself. By yourself? Jonas, you were supposed to walk me home after work. What? You don't work tonight? We're supposed to work Tuesday. It is Tuesday, Jonas. No, it isn't. Oh no. Oh no. His eyes went wide. Dude, get this guy a fucking calendar. Bugger me, it is Tuesday. He clasped my hands and immediately began showering me in frantic apologies. I love how we've only gotten to know these characters for what, maybe 10 minutes, and we already get their entire, like, how their relationship goes. How spastic and disorganized this one is, and how reserved and down to earth this one is. Very good. Oh, I'm so sorry, my love. I can't believe I lost track of the days like that. I'm appalled at my carelessness, and I apologize 1,000 times over. Whatever you want, gold, jewels, the blood of my enemy, your enemies. Jonas, honey, please calm down. Right, sorry, my love. I hate failing to keep a promise to you. If something had happened to you on the way home, I would have never forgiven myself. Oh, I mean, we encountered a cat. We're fine. I took a step forward and touched the side of his face gently. I know, but it's all right. Nothing happened, and the only fright I had was from you and a couple of noisy drunks. No harm done. He sighed. It's a strange, hollow sound, like the doors of a crypt closing shut. Oh, that's a fun descriptor. If you say so, my dear. But regardless, I promise I will not let such an egregious slip-up happen again. Okay, get him a calendar. Get him a calendar. get him a watch. I kissed him softly on the side of his face. Perhaps you should start using that calendar. Speak of the devil. Calendar I bought you. Maybe he needs 2 of them. To get the calendar for the calendar. Unfortunately, they did not have reminders, those reminder apps back then. Perhaps I shall, if you promise not to abuse the umbrella I bought you any further. Oops. He said this while pointing at a now crooked umbrella. Oh, darn. Guess it's my turn to apologize then? He chuckled deeply. Instantly forgiven. I'll buy you 100 umbrellas if needed. I feel like she's gonna break a couple more at this rate. Anything and everything. My dearest Anastasia. Gently placed his hand on the side of my face. Even through his glove, his hand was absolutely freezing. Even so, there was so much warmth in the gesture. Our gesture. Let's just try better tomorrow, all right? Of course, my dear. Honored by your willingness to forgive a tomfool such as I. But truly, I am sorry that I lost track of my days like that. Time was never something I needed to pay much mind to before I met you. And thus this night in particular was a bit of a mess. Lots of complications. Had arisen. I grimaced at the mention of his job. Oh. He noticed my expression and quickly waved away the topic. Oh, nothing that needs to concern you, my dear. It's all taken care of. Not to worry. Although if anyone needs to worry, it ought to be those drunks that were harassing you earlier tonight. Uh-oh. I had hoped he'd forgotten about that. Yeah, how does he know about that? She mentioned some drunks ever so slightly in her conversation, but that is a bit ominous that he's aware of that. And that expression. Tell me, love, did they do anything to hurt you? His tone was casual, but there's something sinister hidden beneath it. Gee, I wonder. Jonas would never hurt me. This I know for a fact. The time that I'd known him, he had only ever treated me with kindness and sincerity. He had never even so much as raised his voice at me. But Jonas was still a monster. While he never hurt me, he wouldn't hesitate to raise this whole city to the ground if it meant protecting me. And while those men were certainly creeps, I didn't want to read about their bodies being found in the next morning's paper. They were just a little obnoxious, that's all. They didn't make you feel uncomfortable. No, they barely even spoke to me. Tried my best to keep my expression neutral. He cocked his head to the side, studying me intently as if trying to decide whether or not to press me further. Then he shrugged and patted my arm affectionately. Well, alrighty then, love. If you say so, then no harm done. I love the instant, turn of murder switch. It's like, I'ma go break some bitches. Okay, never mind, no, everything's fine. But please, dear, if anyone does try to hurt you, won't you please tell me? I mean, that means, determining someone's fate as, most likely dying, but sure. You mean so very much to me, and never want to see any harm come to you. He tucked a loose strand of hair behind my ear. I love you, Anastasia. I hope you know I mean that. I smiled, despite a small bit of guilt eating away at me. I love you too, Jonas. I looked into his pale blue eyes. As inhuman as they were, there was so much tenderness in him. How can someone who looks at me with such softness be capable of such violence? He suddenly linked his arm in mine and winked at me playfully. Aww. Well, enough about tonight. How about we get you home and next to a warm fire? It must be awfully cold by now. I smirked as we began walking down the street together arm in arm. That does sound wonderful, actually. Splendid. Perhaps I will make you some cocoa while I'm at it, since I owe you an apology for my not-so-charming prank earlier. That would be one way to earn my good favor back. Why don't you let me help you with that? There are still stains on the ceiling from the last time I let you touch a stove. Oh my god. Is he that bad at hot cocoa? Well, you wooed me, my dear. If I wasn't even that big. We walk home chatting idly about this, and I love the music that you have found for this game. It's so fitting. It's so nice. Playfully teasing each other as if we were just any normal couple. That's all I ever wanted for us. Just for us to be a normal couple. But as we walk down the street, I am forced to pretend not to see the bright red specks of blood on Jonas's sleeve. I want so badly to pretend. Jonas was the only person in my life that had ever cared about me. The only one to ever make me feel safe and loved. So I pretend that I don't see the blood. I pretend I don't hear the screams down the street. And I pretend that I haven't seen what his face really looks like. I'll pretend as long as I need to, just to feel a little bit normal. Please, all I want is to pretend a little while longer. Oh my goodness. Oh. What a note to end on. Man, that's the perfect, like, short and sweet kind of... You call this a demo, but it really feels like a nice little short and sweet visual novel that can kind of stand on its own. I mean, I know you intend for it eventually to be a longer story, but it really does a great job of introducing... Oh, of course. It really does a great job of introducing these characters. Oh, the little art of them together. You get a really good sense of the conflict of someone whose life used to be, you know, being a woman of the streets, you know, a prostitute of some kind, meets this other person, but he also now lives this dangerous life, but she just wants to get away from that. She wants to live a normal life, and I like the implication that it's she wants to live a normal life, but it's not because he's a monster that she can't live a normal life. It's because he's fucking murdering people. I mean, maybe partially because he's a statue man, but it's mostly the murdering. Mostly the murdering that is preventing her from having a normal life. But you get all of that from what? Like a 20-minute visual novel with a lot of little atmosphere? You get a lot from a short little story. So it's quite charming. Yeah, it really gives you that nice London and the fog and the rain. Yeah, I mean, the conversation went on a teeny bit long with Jonas apologizing, but besides that, I think that was really my only hiccup, I think. But yeah, I look forward to more of these two idiots. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'll chisel your gravestone. Sleep well.